Yeah, it looks like a standing room only audience, and we're delighted to welcome you all here to today. With my pleasure to sit next to Senator Cornyn, good friend and a wonderful colleague. In order to call this hearing to order, this is a subcommittee, Senate Finance, a subcommittee of the Senate Finance Committee, and our focus is international trade, it's customs, it's global competitiveness. As well. And we thank our witnesses who've joined us. I think we have 3 witnesses who've joined us today. And I want to say a special thank you to our subcommittee's ranking member, not just Senator Cornyn, but also his staff and our staff and others who've worked with him on both sides of the aisle to plan this hearing, important hearing on digital trade. Today's hearing will offer an opportunity for us to answer not one, not two, but three central questions. And then the first is this. I think this is my favorite question. Just what is digital trade anyway? I remember Senator Cornyn many years ago when I was I think the chair of a subcommittee on, I want to say, banking, and people were starting to talk about cryptocurrency and this and that, and I didn't understand it, and my staff didn't understand it, and neither did our colleagues understand it. This is at least a dozen years ago, and so we said, why didn't we hold a hearing? And so we held a hearing on it, and when we asked by the staff, why are you doing this? Why are you having this hearing? He said, well, we just don't understand it. At the end of the hearing, they said, well, do you understand it now? Well, not really. And there's some people who don't understand a whole lot about digital trade, why it's important, what it means. So the first question we're going to answer here today for folks who might be joining us near or far, the first question is, what is digital trade anyway? The second question is, why is it important to our country? Why is it important to Americans as well? And finally, how can we work with our allies? How can we work with other trading partners in order to strengthen our ever-changing digital economy? Today's hearing will also be the first Senate hearing in this Congress, I think, to specifically explore the importance of digital trade. And I'm glad that we can take this dedicated time in a bipartisan way. That's the way Senator Cornyn and I like to work, to dive into what I think is a critical issue, an ever important issue with leading experts across our nation. And when I first started learning about digital trade, I quickly discovered it's necessary for us to better understand and appreciate how digital technologies and the internet have transformed our economy. I want to just take a couple of moments to talk about this through an example. I love examples. I like to explain concepts and stuff with stories. And we're going to try to do that today, and we'll see how it works out. But in order to provide an example, we're going to use something that we've all come to know well, and that is smartphones. Smartphones. And let's see if I have one. I do. And my guess is for everybody in this room, I got to ask you to show us your smartphone. For everyone in the room, if you have a smartphone with you, just hold it up. John, do you have one with you? This is good. I think almost all of us. Yeah. This one lady back here doesn't have a smartphone. We'll have to get her one. But the smartphones are everywhere in our society. They're even in prisons with people who shouldn't have them. And that's a story for another day. And it's not every prison that happens, but it's certainly a concern when it does. But nearly everyone I know, probably everyone that you all know, has one. It's almost impossible to imagine our lives today without them. We use them for just about everything, from checking work emails to logging into a Zoom meeting to purchasing goods from halfway around the world, whether we happen to be booking a hotel in Dover, Delaware, or Dover, England. Smartphones have made our lives more accessible to just about everything. There are just a few examples in our day these are just a few examples in our daily lives that show how digital connectivity can make it easier, faster, less expensive to trade goods and services across our globe. And this is all made possible because the internet has made it easier for us to share information and data without geographic barriers. Without these tangible barriers, digital innovation has revolutionized nearly every industry across our country, our economy, ranging from manufacturing to agriculture to financial services to e-commerce, you name it, you name it. As a result, trading goods and services with a lot of help from the internet has exploded in recent years. Just look at the numbers. From 2005 to 2019, real value added for the U.S. digital economy grew at an average annual rate of more than 5% per year, outpacing the 2% growth in the overall economy during those same years. And the pandemic has spurred digital growth even more, with people staying home and turning to the internet to access medical services, to stream their favorite movies, or book that next vacation in the first state or in the Lone Star State or around the globe. And this growth isn't just benefiting consumers, it's also spurring job creation and enabling small businesses to thrive. With the digital economy, small business that sells jewelry in Delaware or Texas or some other place can now sell their products to just about anyone, anywhere in the world with ease. However, it's critical that as we examine the importance of digital trade for our economy or our economies, we must also acknowledge how digital technologies affect our national security. And right now, we're witnessing a global battle over the values that govern the digital economy. Foreign adversaries like China are using digital technologies to advance authoritarianism and crack down on freedom of speech and human rights. They are working overtime to shape the digital economy in a way that threatens our democratic values and jeopardizes our national security. Yet, as Albert Einstein once said, in fact, he used to say that not just once, but a lot. He used to say, "In adversity lies opportunity." I say that a lot, too. I always give him credit. But I think that's a great truth that guides me in my life, and I suspect for Senator Cornyn and a whole lot of other people in this room as well. That's exactly what we have before us today, a real opportunity to set the rules of the road for digital trade that reflect our values. And those words were true then. In adversity lies opportunity, and they are even truer today. So far, the U.S. has taken a leadership role through negotiating ambitious digital rules and the USMCA agreement we have with Canada and Mexico, what used to be called NAFTA, and through digital trade to cooperation with Japan. But that's not enough. Our work can't stop there. And that's why this past July, my staff and I work closely with one of our colleagues from the other side of the aisle, Senator Young, and his staff and other members of this committee to introduce a bipartisan, bicameral resolution advocating for the United States to work with our allies across the globe to establish forward-looking digital trade policies. I'm also eager to work with the U.S. Trade Representative Catherine Tai and the Biden administration to make progress on these important issues as they negotiate something called the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework and other economic engagements relating to digital trade. So in that spirit today, I look forward to hearing from our esteemed panel of witnesses to pull back the curtain on the importance of digital trade and how we can work with our allies in this country, but especially outside of this country, to advance thoughtful digital trade policies. With that, I'm happy to turn it over to my wingman on this committee and others, Senator Cornyn. John.